Shalom. I want to start off by giving all glory, praises, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the brothers that's teaching this truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect, the 1/3 sincere listeners. All right. Today's lesson is going to be based off of the scripture. We got a few scriptures, and then I'm gonna pretty much land my plane. But let me just read it, and then I'm gonna expound. Isaiah 59:15. Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And that's pretty much the point. But I'll read the rest, and then I'm gonna go back. All right. Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. Okay? And that's what you got right now in this society, is that the truth, the truth is looked down upon in this society. Okay? The truth is what's actually preserving the men of the Lord. Okay? However, majority of the world is against the truth. They hate hearing the truth. They hate order. Right? That's why all over social media, you got all type of back and forth between a man's role and a woman's role, and what the man's supposed to do, what the woman's supposed to do, this gender war, because people don't know the truth of the matter, the order of the matter. And that's ultimately all by design by the so-called white man. Esau, Edom, starting with the elites, Amalek, right? Maybe some, Amalek really, social engineering and causing havoc amongst the people, man. And pretty much all these problems are affecting anybody in the West, but who it affects the most is the Israelites, which is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? The truth of how to conduct yourself, how to govern yourself, how to govern the earth, that's all gone. That's all knowledge that nobody knows anymore, man. Nobody considers the ways of the old paths, the old ways, which are the right ways, man. Okay? And also pretty much this video is a follow-up to my last video, because we are the ones standing for truth and bringing it out no matter what, man. Boldly in the face of our enemies. And we're making ourselves a prey to our enemies, man. Okay? But the scripture says the righteous are bold as a lion, right? And I'm probably going to get that right after this. But I want to expound on my point and pick the bones and, get the meat off of the scripture here. This is the main point. It says, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey, and the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment, right? And you have it to where our enemies, they're going to implement, draconian laws for teaching the Bible, for teaching the scriptures. Thus saith the Lord, right? Everything we say is from the oracles of the Most High, right? But they want to outlaw that. They're going to outlaw that eventually. But that's the Lord. You got to think about it. The Lord set it up that way, right? And, pretty much that's when he's actually going to hide the elect. Because we're not going to be out there on the highways and byways teaching this word when this thing comes down the pipeline, man. And pretty much we want this thing to speed up so we can get the hell up out of here. But it's all of the Lord's time anyways. Okay? Because we've pretty much made a lot of enemies spiritually in this walk of ours, right? Because we call out and condemn everybody. We call out the murderers, the blasphemers, the liars, the idolaters, right? The adulterers, the witches, the wizards, the witchcraft, right? The prognosticators, the necromancers. We call out everybody. The sodomites, okay? You name it, man. The proud, right? We call them out too, man. You see what I'm saying? So, and it's not like we might harp on a certain individual to make a point, but really when we call these things out or call people out, it's really in general, man. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is, if the shoe fits, wear it. And a lot of people, the shoe fits, man. And they don't want to hear this truth, so they want to pretty much put an end to us. But they don't understand that the angels campeth around about us, man. And that's what they got to consider as well, because they can't just make their move. You see what I'm saying? Because they're going to pretty much force the Most High's hand. You see what I'm saying? And then, like I said, the standard. I'm going to read this verse 16, and then I'm going to read it in NLT. And he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessors. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness, it sustained him. Right? Because there was nobody to pretty much be like, no, those guys are good. No, they're doing a good thing. Don't persecute them or don't go after them. What's your problem, You see what I'm saying? And now I'm going to read it in NLT. Isaiah 59:15. Yes, truth is gone, and anyone who renounces evil is attacked. The Lord, Yahweh, looked and was displeased to find there was no justice, right? There's no justice in the land, man. And we're the only ones that call for justice, right? To be, what's that word I'm looking for? Recompensed, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, right? To be justly given what is ours, to be avenged, to be saved, to receive salvation, man. That's what salvation's all about. All right? To be saved from our enemies. We have enemies, man. Okay? Esau Edom, he might put GMO in the foods, and everybody eats GMOs. But guess what? He's done a diligent search to know that GMOs affect the Israelites the most. He's done a diligent search to know that his injectable vaccines, right, affect the Israelites the most, right? Why do you think Israelites are on the top of the scale? I mean, on the top of the highest rates of autism, man. The Israelites, the so-called blacks especially, have the highest rates of autism, man. Because he's done a diligent search. I watched a documentary about it. It was called Unveed. All right, you know the V word, right? And it was all like going into how these different V's that they give you at birth messes you up, right? And they pretty much were going into it, and they gave you the statistics that so-called black people are affected, especially black males are affected the most. Yet how they tried to, because it was a documentary, but how they tried to lump it in is that it doesn't matter that it's just affecting so-called black people the most, because it's affecting all of us still the same in a sense. Like they tried to lump it in, like they tried to throw it in there, but then it's like, yo, we're all going through it anyways, kind of thing. But that's not the case. We could quote unquote be all going through it, but who's catching the brunt of it? And that's where the problem lies. You see what I'm saying? So all you truthers and you want to join hand in hand with Jake, and now that you're complaining that you're catching hell, well, hell, man, Jake been in a recession. How about that? You want to talk about a recession is a recession, or inflation? Jake been dealing with inflation. Jake been dealing with recessions. What are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? We've been in hard times. We've been the poor. So what's up? We've been in that predicament. You feel me? So you can't come here now and try and make us. Nah, man, we got our own fight to fight, man. All right? We're not the same, man. And you made it very clear. You other nations made it very clear. Psalms 83. All right? So none of your witchcraft is working on the elect anymore, man. Verse 16. He was amazed to see that no one intervened to help the oppressed. So he himself stepped in to save them with his strong arm, and his justice sustained him. You know? That's right, man. That's beautiful. Because that's what's to come, man. The elect's going to be saved, even in death. But, this is a time of salvation anyways. So some of us will have to die, but majority will not taste death. Majority won't. All right. Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. All right. So even in we stand in the face of our enemies and tell them what it is. And they fear that. That's why it says, Scripture said, great fear fell upon them. When they saw us waking up to who we were, right? And we knew who, when we're calling upon the name of the Lord, right? That put fear in their hearts, man. They didn't know what to do. They're like, we spend billions of dollars, billions, probably all trillions of dollars to keep this a secret from you, because this whole world is against you, man. All right? And the reason why is because every and anything is to keep it a secret from you. Right? All these top companies, Meta, Apple, these government agencies, all these companies are still meant to keep you asleep, man. All right? Somehow, I'm just giving an example. Shopify somehow is there to keep you asleep. You know what I mean? At the very top of Shopify, right? They know that they got to keep you asleep somehow. Distracted with all these different products and, right? Because everything is a distraction. Bread and circus, they want to sell to you these different products. And that's going to keep your mind away from knowing who the truth, from thinking about the Most High, or knowing if you have a power that's going to save you, right? You see what I'm saying? It gets real. It gets deep, man. Everything is a distraction. So everything anything that can distract you as an Israelite is a weapon against you in a sense, man. But that's why we use the word, don't abuse it. Okay? Because I'm sure brothers use Shopify even for their businesses, or have bought things off of Shopify, or whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? We use the word, don't abuse it. Let's see. Ecclesiastes 30:3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, before his friends, he shall rejoice of him. All right. And starting with our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, okay, they have spiritual sons, which became camp leaders, all right, and brothers underneath them, which are also their sons, all over the earth, especially in America. These different camps spread out all over Babylon, America the Great. Okay, us brothers here in Canada. All right, we're all the fruit that our fathers had started, man. Okay, and the fact that they taught us this truth and woke us up to this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the enemy's mad. It's pissing the enemy off. He's vexed. He wants to make a move on us now. Right? So that's what's going on. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. Okay, going back to Bill C 367, 367 for completion, I guess, whatever. 367 for completion, because this is it anyways, man. I don't really get too heavy into the numerology thing, but it's still all symbolic nonetheless. All right. This is it, man. Oh, Lord will, this is it. Anyways, it's supposed to be in that spirit. I know there was one more scripture I wanted to bring out, but it just slipped my mind. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. It's okay. Sometimes it gets like that, man. You forget. It was all in the spirit anyways. But I'm going to end it off here. The point was pretty much made. If the spirit comes back, then I'm just making a part 2 or another video separately. But Lord will, you're edified, and shalom to the next.